public speaking skills and speak like a leader. I was searching for the right place, and then I was very happy to know that Kiran has started something called as Leadership Card with another 3 amazing leaders.
Training started with a SWOT analysis on our own strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat areas.
This particular course was broken into 4 main crucial topics. First week was about the communication.
To grow your business as well as your personal brand.
Second week, time management.
Prioritizing the time by the 4-step urgency versus important quadrant.
Third week was about change management.
Why change is important.
Where we had to explain Porter's 8-step model.
Last week was about conflict management.
I can very easily and confidently share my ideas and thoughts in front of my authority.
One of the important takeaway from this, the conflict management.
Leadership card, third mindset, relationship building.
A rich and diverse background of all 4 mentors is enriching.
Special highlight of this program is the last week get together as a team and work on a single project.
An important advantage from the leadership card, the personal interaction.
Best part about the program was they inspired us to take action.
Great session on how to make a vision board.
I highly recommend this course to the professionals of middle, junior and senior management.
In this public speaking skills and speak like a leader. I was searching for the right place, and then I was very happy to know that Kiran has started something called as Leadership Card with another 3 amazing leaders.
Training started with a SWOT analysis on our own strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat areas.
This particular course was broken into 4 main crucial topics. First week was about the communication.
To grow your business as well as your personal brand.
Second week, time management.
Prioritizing the time by the 4-step urgency versus important quadrant.
Third week was about change management.
Why change is important.
Where we had to explain Porter's 8-step model.
Last week was about conflict management.
I can very easily and confidently share my ideas and thoughts in front of my authority.
One of the important takeaway from this, the conflict management.
Leadership card, third mindset, relationship building.
A rich and diverse background of all 4 mentors is enriching.
Special highlight of this program is the last week get together as a team and work on a single project.
An important advantage from the leadership card, the personal interaction.
Best part about the program was they inspired us to take action.
Great session on how to make a vision board.
I highly recommend this course to the professionals of middle, junior and senior management.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Leadership Card Hour, which is held every Thursdays from 7:45 to 8:30 p.m. Every week, Leadership Card team comes together with new ideas, new thoughts to share with the community. Thank you for joining us virtually and those who are here in the room with us. Who are the Leadership Card and what do we bring to the table? Well, the Leadership Card team or Leadership Card is the brainchild of 4 individuals. Kirandeep Sandhu, Ashish Datta, Ram Ramakrishnan, and Devesh Mohan, who share a common vision to transform and support emerging leaders, new managers in their growth journey for personal growth and personal transformation. In the last 15 plus months, Leadership Card has worked with over 1,500 individuals. We come from diverse fields such as communication, finance, real estate, operations, sales, GSIs, and alliances. Cumulatively, we're a very young team with only 100 years of experience. We have worked both in India as well as in global scenarios, and we come from diverse functions as shared. A little bit about the team itself. My name is Kirandeep Sandhu. I come from academics and the communication leadership. I'm a John Maxwell leadership coach, And in the last 2 decades, I have worked with people in academia as an entrepreneur and also gone into coaching. Along with all these, I'm also a social entrepreneur, the founder of the Give Back to the Community Trust. My areas of specialization are mindset, personality development, effective communication, personal branding, and TEDx coaching. My partner, Ashish Datta, believes that lead yourself first, the rest is easy. Ashish comes from operation and finance leadership. Ashish is a chartered accountant by profession, a certified trainer. Currently, he is COO, CFO, a leadership coach, and also calls himself as a self-leadership architect. In the last 3+ decades, he has worked in finance, people, processes, technology across industries. His book, Leadership: A Dark Hole, is quite fascinating. So if you have been facing some challenges, do pick up the book. Areas of expertise are self-leadership, team dynamics, relationship management, and conflict management. Mr. Ram Ramakrishnan believes that we all have the power to make impossible possible. Ram has over 34 years of leadership experience working with Fortune 500 companies. And that he brings the service and transformational leadership to the table. Ram is a TEDx speaker and author. He has 2 books that he has written. One is From Local to Global. Do pick it up if you are looking at bringing your company or your organization to a global level. Ram works with business transformation, personal transformation. His areas of expertise are SWOT, priority management, networking, and customer service. And today's speaker, who I'll share about late in a bit, but is Devesh Mohan. Today's topic of the day is change, how to deal with change, because change begins at the end of your comfort zone. Devesh comes from Sales and Alliance, and let me hand the floor to him as Devesh talks about his leadership journey and how to deal with change. Over to Devesh.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kiran. And very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my online viewers, whoever is attending from across the globe, and good evening to the audiences who are there joining me here. So today's topic is around how to deal with change. And that's something, let me start with myself only. So Devesh Mohan as an individual till 2020 was someone who was focused in his professional career, and he has spent 2 decades on building his career around sales and alliances. And by end of 2020, I was heading global alliances for an organization, and globally I was building alliances for the GSI. But from end of 2020 to now, which is almost 2 years, there have been a lot of change and transformation through which I have gone through. And you can see a lot of things which have got added in my portfolio, whether it is about my own experience of sales and alliances, which basically is now a course which I run, which is around sales coaching and training, and also around partnership and alliances. So that's one thing which I have transformed myself, I have changed myself to deliver. I have, over a period of time, have become a leadership coach. I have gone through leadership trainings, and I'm a professionally certified coach from CTA. And we are already delivering multiple courses to our participants from last 1.5 years, whether it is around personal transformation or goal setting and how we can achieve goals, negotiation, decision-making programs. So all these we have been doing. Apart from that, I am a social entrepreneur where I work and make sure that how I can contribute back to the society. I also, in these last 2 years, become a health enthusiast and making sure that how I can develop my endurance in terms of to run long distance and do long distance cycling. So, and apart from that, I would soon be author, where my book, which is Build Your Sales Muscles, would be releasing shortly by next month. So if you see this entire journey where I have completely transformed myself in these 2 years, where till 2020, I was just a sales and alliances leader in the corporate. But in these last 2 years, there have been multiple skills which have got added in my portfolio too, which makes me more like a well-rounded individual. So the whole point is in terms of that, what exactly made me to do so. So definitely there is always some compelling reason which is there, and we typically try to change once that compelling reason happened. And for me was one of the reason in terms of by end of the 2020, I had to disassociate with my previous company. And that was something as a compelling reason where I thought that is that time where I need to just again go back and join any organization, or should I invest time in terms of building my own skills and knowledge? And that was one of the nirvana movement for me in terms of to just make sure that what I could do, where I can actually be on that journey of being a changed or hard-coded. I am hardened by change. That's the thought process with which I started in terms of what could be done. And the thought process behind was that as an individual, it's all about that what you can do and build your own personal power of leadership, rather than thinking around building your professional power of leadership. So my thought was in terms of that what makes me better is in terms of to have that personal power of leadership rather than just chasing that positional power of leadership. And that made me in terms of go through that I need to change. And the question was that how should I deal with that change? Because, well, while it looks to be a very simple sentence, but when you have to deal with change, it goes through a process, it goes through certain activities which you need to do. And eventually, how can I hard code myself against change? So that was the thought process with which I started thinking. And in that process, which I shared with you, that in last 2 years, I have achieved multiple feats. I have moved into different directions in terms of doing, whether it is about being a leadership coach, whether it's being a social entrepreneur, or being an author, or being a endurance athlete. There have been number of activities which I have started, and I think that how I would like to share my experience in terms of that how I was able to really deal with that change. And for that, there are 3 major things which I thought is very important and very critical to share with you. And these 3 things are, number one, that when there is a compelling event which forces you to change, one of the things which is very important is that separate the clutter out and focus on what you can do. That's number one. What is that? Focus on what you can do. That's something which is extremely important. And this whole process of focusing on something what you can do starts with your own self-awareness. Because when certain compelling event happens and it pushes you to change, it's very evident that how an individual responds to that change. And it is something which is very common. How it will happen that if you have to react to a change, it will go through first stages of denial, second stages of resistance, third is of exploration, and fourth is of commitment. And it actually happens in a sinusoidal curve, that you would start with denying of that state. You would start saying with disbelief, or you will try to avoid that situation, that how this could happen to me. And that's a phase of denial with which you would always go. Then there is a resistance which comes, which is all about getting into complaining mode, okay? Or talking more about the glorified past which was there. That was the past time when it was like the best of the times which we had. So you try to just justify it and you resist that situation. So that's where you resist and make sure that you vent out your anger by complaining and by doing or glorifying your past. Then gradually what happens, the sinusoidal curve starts moving upwards, where, okay, you said you eventually start saying to yourself, okay, this is now the situation. So I have to really explore that what I could do. And in this situation, you start putting some amount of energy to look for that, okay, what could be done. You will still not be very focused, but you will try to see, okay, let's try this thing out or that thing out. And that would happen. And then you get into that commitment phase where you basically start focusing on certain areas, that how you can start working on that and you can move into something which is very productive. So the whole point is that this whole process of denial, which goes down below, and then from exploration, it starts coming back upwards. What we need to do, that if we have that focus on what we can do, we can try to reduce the distance between denial to exploration. The better scenario, and if you are aware of your thoughts, aware of this change, which basically it takes you through, you can put and concentrated effort in terms of where you can really reduce that gap between, which is from denial to exploration. And the more you are able to reduce the gap, you will quickly come into that exploration phase. And through exploration, you will get into a committed mode to do something new. So that's the way we need to just make sure that we are aware of the situation. So there is no harm. There is no harm to go through denial, resistance, exploration. And so this is like common, uniform to every human being, because we all are built on our emotions, right? So if we are built on our emotions, it's something which will go through these phases. The only trick is that we need to just make sure that how we can shorten or reduce that gap of denial and resistance and quickly move on to exploration. So that's number 1 point, okay, which is focus on what you can do. The second piece, that which anyways in general is very important, but during that change phase is very important, and you should accelerate that pace, which is of willingness to learn and develop. So that's something which you need to continuously work upon to ensure that what you can do in general across, as you are moving in your life, you have to continuously learn and develop new skills. But during the phase of that change, you have to just accelerate it, because once you accelerate that learning and development curve, basically it gives you a hell lot of ideas. It gives you different perspective. It gives you to think through in terms of that what could be endless possibilities in which you can work to. So one thing which is important, if you are not in that mode of continuous learning, start that today, irrespective of it's a change position or not a change situation. So first of all, just identify that area of interest. I'm sure there would be something which would be which makes you interested in some something which would be there. Even if you're looking from your educational background and say that, okay, you were like in every subject in class 12th, I just got 50, 60 number out of 100. No worries. Whichever subject you got highest, that was your best. You don't have to compare with others, right? It's about that whatever, if you think that that's the way to decide that what is that area of interest, just pick up that subject in which you got highest because you were best in that, right? So that's something you need to at least pick up so that you have an area of interest, what you can do, and start polishing yourself. Because many times I was like a backbencher. I have never studied and I was a second class in 10th and 12th. So 55%, 59%, those are the marks which I used to get. But that doesn't define your destiny. That doesn't define your future. So you need to really go through and make sure that you need to polish yourself. And that polishing happens as you continuously work on gaining your knowledge, building your skill set. And that's something which you should continuously work upon. That's indispensable. You have to just make sure that how you can work on that part. And look for, when I say that you can hard code yourself against change, which would happen when you can convert your passion into profession. So that's something which you need to look upon, that is there a possibility that while you are polishing yourself, can I hard code myself to whatever external changes which are happening by converting my passion into profession? And if that's something which you can achieve, that's the best thing which will be there for you to not be dependent on something else, right? Or it could be your alternate career which you can develop, and while whatever job, whatever activities which you do, keep doing that. That's something which allows you to make sure that you are earning for the family and you can give a good life to your family. I also do that. I also work for an organization, but at the same time, I'm converting my passion of learning what I share with others and how that I can eventually, over a period of while I have already made it as a profession also, but I'm working towards that, how I can continuously keep working and keep becoming better on this particular thing. So that's the second thing, which is about willingness to learn and develop yourself as an individual. So that's the second thing. The third thing, how to deal with change, is about developing a resilience mindset, developing an opportunity mindset or a growth mindset. For me, I'm just putting all these into one category, but that's something which is very important. And that actually doesn't happen in a day. It's just like that Rome was not built on a day. It's in the same way, this also doesn't happen very quickly. And that's where I started. I kept this point deliberately in the last, because this is something like, as you exercise to build your muscle, this is something like where you have to really practice this on the daily basis so that you can build that resilient mindset muscle. It's something in that category, and that's something which you have to really work upon and make sure that you practice it on regular basis. So while some of the things like meditation, yoga, all those are good to have because that always give you focus towards, in terms of that how you can focus on specific things and remove the clutter. But I'm not going on that part, because that's something which there are so many techniques which are there, you can always use it. But what I will talk about is that start noting down that what type of thoughts occur in your mind. If there are certain situations which are pulling you out of your comfort zone, okay, and start thinking as well as start writing about it. What you would see, normally it had happened with me, that most of the time they have been negative thoughts. those were negative thought. If I have to move into that change situation or pass through that change situation, there would be a lot of negative thoughts which will come. So the trick here is that start writing them, because when you will start writing them, you will find, and if you will start analyzing them, you will find that all these thoughts which are there, most of the negative thoughts which are there, they are not based on any facts. They are just created out of the anxiousness, out of fear which is there. What would happen? What would society say? How would I be able to survive? So these are all castles in air which our brain makes, and which basically pushes you to have negative thoughts. So what it requires is that you start writing those negative thoughts, and when you will start writing, you can actually analyze those thoughts, and you will find that these are not based on fact. And once you analyze that, basically you will start believing that I need to overcome these self-defeating thoughts which are coming, because that's very important. We need to train ourselves that how I can overcome through these self-defeating thoughts. And start, when you do that, basically one of the technique could be that typically if you think imaginary that you have a friend, and the friend is coming up with some of these things which really which basically he's talking about that how he should handle this, how he should go through this whole process of negative thought. I'm sure that you will always try to boost up your friend, right? You will not try to further add fuel in the fire by saying, okay, this is dangerous. You will try to motivate him or inspire her. And that's something basically will push you to think that, okay, is it that I'm overly critically analyzing myself? So the whole idea is that just don't critically analyze yourself, and start identifying that how you can reframe your negative thoughts. And if you are able to reframe your negative thoughts, that's where the win is for you. And that's a practice in terms of, because we all are tuned in such a way that there is negativity. Our hormones really pushes us to think negative. And we need to overcome that situation, and that overcoming can happen if you start writing those things on a piece of paper. What are those negative thoughts? You are actually then making sure that while you are writing, you are making sure that those are made without any facts. And once you know that those are without any facts, it will make you to push yourself where you reframe those negative thoughts and talk in a positive manner. And once you start doing and start practicing this, you will start building up a growth mindset. You will start building a resilient mindset. And once it starts happening, what's going to happen? That you will get hard-coded against change, and you will start knowing that how you can deal with change. So these are the three elements, three major points which I wanted to share with you, because that's how I have done in my life in terms of where I have transformed from just being a sales and alliance leader in the corporate to really become a holistic individual who has a lot of more qualities and do lot many things as individual, which is more satisfying. So that's something which I was able to do. And that's something which I was able to do because of these three things. Number one, focus on what you can do. Number two, willingness to learn and develop. And third, develop a resilience mindset or a success mindset. These are the three elements which have helped me on how to deal with change. So yeah, that's something which I wanted to share with you all. And over to you, Kiran, to take the discussion forward.
Thank you so much, Devesh, for sharing with us and the viewers, both in the room as well as virtually, about your change story. It's absolutely fantastic and inspiring. I love your quote, which says, tie your shoes and run towards your goals, because it's about constantly pushing your boundaries, pushing yourself to keep changing and becoming the best version of yourself. And I think
and just to add, even Ram's quote, which is all about, we all have power to make impossible possible.
Absolutely.
And that's what we keep doing. So yeah,
absolutely.
So positive, keep yourself extremely
so I think
positive.
with that, yeah, so that whole thought process of possible to impossible to possible is actually about all the mindset, and you shared some brilliant tips on how you could do it. We're more than happy to take the questions if there are any from the audience related to change. If you want to unmute yourself, we would be more than, Devesh or I would be more than happy to share about it. But okay, but while waiting for our audience to actually ask this question, Devesh, you've talked about, yes, Chennai Narsim, if you would like to unmute and ask that question, we're more than happy to take it. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Kiran and Mr. Mohan. Really appreciated the efforts what you put, explaining the thought process. Really, I learned a couple of things like focus, willingness to learn, and resilient to mindset. But in the resilient mindset, how to develop this mindset? You have said that first to get those negative thoughts, write down, validate, explore, and reframe those. Instead of doing all the stuff, why can't we develop right way on positive thinking, any possibility, instead of validating these negative thoughts as good or bad? Because you already said that these negative thoughts without any base up on the facts, because every day we get 65,000 thoughts coming and going. Is it really required to validate those things and work on those? Otherwise, try to change your mindset, think anything comes in front of you positively and take it forward. Just I have some contradiction mindset on this. Can you elaborate the thing?
Sure. Yeah, sure, Chenna, and very, very great point. What my perspective was, specifically when there is a change situation, when there is something which is really pushing you hard, a compelling reason which is pushing you to change. Because when that situation happens, there are a lot of negative thoughts which starts coming, right? But as you said, if we have to really build a resilient mindset, if we have to be hard-coded against change, if as a practice, and as that's something which I was saying, that you normally should do yoga and some of these meditative things, which basically pushes you to become more positive, and in general, you can be positive. And I fully agree with you that in general, you should look for that by doing some of these meditative exercises, you build a positive mindset, and that's something which would really help in general. And in those situations of changes which really pushes you to come out of your comfort zone, there would be still a situation, because we are human, we have from denial to resistance to exploration to commitment. We will go through that phase. So if we are going through that denial and resistance phase, at that point of time, if you start thinking that what are those negative thoughts which are coming, and start eliminating them by those facts, that there is no real facts around that, what's going to happen? Your denial till resistance, the gap, which can be in certain scenarios could be very long, you can quickly reduce that, and you will immediately move into exploration and get into something new, which otherwise for many people could be a longer journey. So that's the point. I hope I was able to respond to your query.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Devesh Mohan, I think some extent I understood from where you were coming. When we're getting to particular compelling situation, really we have to think those negative thoughts and work on those thoughts and come out.
Yeah, I would just like to add, although I know Mr. Tangaraj has a question, I just want to add on that as a human, and this is research based, that 90% of our thoughts are generally negative. And 80% of these thoughts are also repetitive. That means not only do we have our main thoughts that we have in a day, if we're saying it's 6,500 to 10,000 thoughts that come to our mind, then 80% of those thoughts are negative and 90% of them are repetitive. So in our mind, we keep thinking of the negative. Now, question becomes that unless you have that resilient mindset, unless you are that positive person, we get soaked into that energy of just being negative. And we are not able to come out because we love to be in denial that there is a problem or we need to change. So and I would say now, luckily, not luckily, pandemic has literally pushed us all to change. Things that we were resistant to or did not even think were possible have actually become possible. Work from home has become possible. Being stuck in your own apartment for over a year has become possible. So denial and resistance in those first few weeks, months had become exploration on how can I adapt to this change and then commit to it. And that is only possible because when you think that I want to do it, in the beginning, we were all very negative and most of us actually got soaked in by it. So that's a human nature part of it. Thank you. I hope we've answered that question. Now I'm going to take Mr. Tangaraj before I quickly wrap the session. Yes, Mr. Tangaraj, you may unmute. Yes.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
The points what Mr. Devesh gave, they are very fantastic. I'm not going to, I don't have any doubt on that. I want to add a little more things of my own thought process on that.
Sure.
Just to give you a small background, I'm a self-made man, started my career in the age of 17 and now running my own business. Now, all these years, all these qualities, what Mr. Devesh was saying, if that was not there, I would have not grown to the level what I am there now. But two things I want to communicate. Number one is change happens in two phases or two methods. If we don't do change in our program ourselves, somebody else will do it for us. Now, for example, my environment, my family, my relatives or my profession, my colleagues, they would bring the change to me, which I have to forcibly cope up with. So the first way to do it, change for my own way and in my own requirement or my own feeling or my own growth perspectives or whatever is my requirement, I think that would be the best thing. This is one thing I have practiced and I didn't know. Only now I become an analyst myself, I can realize that this happened. Of late, now the thought process in me is, now if I'm going to do it every time myself, it's a very big struggle. Maybe I would have gone much faster if I had a guru or I had some mentor. Now, this is the new concept I'm hearing from many people. If you can have a mentor who will guide you out of your negatives, knowing your virtues and capabilities and requirements, maybe very difficult to find one, but if you are able to find one, I am myself looking for a guru for myself now. So this is the latest thought. I thought I'll just share it with you.
A wonderful thought, absolutely, Mr. Tangaraj. I think you have brilliantly put it that if you don't, so this is just a conversation 10 minutes before I jumped into this call where I was in the coaching session, and it was about a thought process this person had, and now what needs to be done. That means a new change has to happen. Now, if that change has to happen, the message was, let's see how it goes. And I said, no. Change has to be intentional. We cannot let it be consequential. So if you want to change, you have to set an intention to change. And for that, whatever is required, whether it is you changing yourself, and if you are not able to do it because you want to change, but you are not able to find the way forward, then you need to find somebody who can help you in that change process, to explore and become the change enabler as a catalyst to take your journey forward. So with that, I'm going to take a pause and actually take, I'm going to be sharing about Leadership Card and how we have been working with emerging leaders in this journey of change, and how can you continue your journey forward with us, because we're close to our...
So just one point which I wanted to add to what Mr. Thangaraj said on the second point. What happens that normally there is a tendency that we try to learn from our failures, and those failures basically make the entire process of learning very long. And that's where this concept of mentor is very important, and we need to learn from others' failures. It's not that every time I have to learn from my own failures. It's all about to also learn from other failures of other people, and don't make those repeat mistakes, what they have done, and quickly climb the ladder. And that's where I think that point is very valid. And that's something which we also want to talk about today while Kiran now takes that over.
So if you look at exactly the journey or the red flag, we can all see, but how fast are we going to be reaching it? And in this journey, Leadership Card has been working with emerging leaders, new managers, senior leadership teams, in fact, as in coaching, mentoring, training sessions to help them reach that goalpost faster, because then you're more equipped. And how do we do that? Every week we have the card hour, which is the 7:45 to 8:30 knowledge sharing session, where we bring in our experiences and share it with the community. We also have the personal transformation program, which I'm going to shortly talk about it, which is our flagship program, which we are now going into batch number 7. Along with that, we work on module-based trainings. Recently in Bangalore, we've already gone into 5 times running our customer excellence program. In Malaysia, we've done the high performance teams. And next one is coming up in Ranthambore. So we have programs where we are catering to specific needs of our clients so that they can take themselves or their team to the next level faster. We also have a customized women leadership program, which I lead because I believe, and Devesh has given me this saying, which is kitchen to corporate, or kitchen to, going up that ladder. Absolutely, it is possible, because for me, the first organization that an individual leads is your home. And if you can lead your home, you can lead the world. That's my belief. And that's what I share in my modules that I work with. And lastly, we have our online PACE leadership program, so that people who are not able to join these programs can also join us virtually and learn at their own pace. Not forgetting about the part that in our podcast, which is every week, every Saturday it comes out, which is the Leadership Talks for Emerging Leaders. We bring emerging leaders from across the globe to share their thoughts so that we can learn from others' journey and don't make those mistakes, because everybody does not have access or the resources to reach a lot of hear about other experiences. And that is our goal as part of that leadership card, to bring those experiences to all of you. Now, I was talking about the virtual personal transformation program, which is going to be starting. I'll take a few minutes of your time. We are going into batch number 6 with this. And the Personal Transformation Program is our flagship program. And this has been running since July 2021. And here it's a comprehensive program where many people who have finished this program say, we have literally done an express MBA, which at 1/3 of the price that we would have done an MBA. So it's a comprehensive program. So those who want to take a plunge are not worried about the certification, but are willing to invest their personal time. This is the program that I would highly recommend. It starts by understanding yourself, and we go into personality development, where we understand yourself, your SWOT, your goal setting. How do you build the right mindset to grow? And from there, we go into leading yourself, because only when you know yourself can you lead yourself. And this is again working with business communication, 3F's framework, which is set up. We talk about priority management and relationship management, because here now it's about leading yourself. How do you build these powerful relationships with others? In module number 3, we go into conflict management and leading teams. Now, you don't live in isolation, whether it is at home or in an organization or in the community. You're constantly working with people. And here, that's where the friction happens. And that's where you need to build with people. So here we talk about conflict management, team dynamics, effective negotiation, and business etiquettes. And lastly, in module number 4, we go into leading organizations, where Devesh talks about change management. He brings in this whole experiences about change. I talk about gender diversity. Ashish talks about problem solving. And then we talk about profitable growth, which is done by Ashish again, because it's all about making money for your organization. Because if you want a seat on that table, it's good enough you're doing everything, but you're also making money for your organization. So this is a comprehensive 2-month program that Leadership Card runs. It's our flagship program. A little bit about it. We're starting on the 29th of October, a week apart. It's an 8-week program. And what we need from you is your 2 hours that you want to invest in yourself. It's going to be every week from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So it's not going into your family time. It is your time which you would have otherwise slept it off or having tea and coffee. Instead, you're learning from people who have gone through these challenges, gone through these ground realities, and bring it up for you so that you don't make those same mistakes and can come out faster. It's done every Saturday and Sunday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So what is the pricing of this program? Well, if you went into the market and such a comprehensive 4 module step process, which runs over 8 weeks in the market easily with content, whether it's from John Maxwell, our experiences, the amount of time and energy that we have put into our own learnings, diluting it in the most simplified form so that you can actually take those learnings and immediately apply it into your workplace or in your household. I mean, give me a number. I would not say anything less than probably 2 lakhs. I would say that, because problem with me coming from John Maxwell, I bring a lot of those experiences. We have people from the Coach Transformation Program. They've invested so much to learn and up their skills, so they spend money on themselves. So it's a lot of investment in our personal growth so that you can benefit from it. And just to tell you a little bit about how we are selling it, well, per module is around 20,000. And it in total with the 4 module, it comes to 80K. And I was saying the market price would not be less than 2.5, I would say 2.5. But what we are doing is that in this program, which is that a card hour, we're giving a very special bonus as well as an early bird price, which ends on the 22nd of October. which is 39,999. I'm going to get Devesh to put in the, if you want to link with, reach us out and get this price, immediately get in touch with me, Ramakrishnan, or Devesh Mohan, or Ashish Datta, and we'll be more than happy to get you on board with us. You can reserve your price at 10K, and the remaining you can make another payment later. The bank details are given. I'll be more than happy. This will be followed up with an email that you can get all the details about. But it doesn't end there, because we have loads of bonuses for you. We have our customer excellence module, which normally costs 5,000. It's going to be free. We're also doing the niche identification masterclass, normally 5,000, free. You're also getting the LinkedIn masterclass, which I do, 5,000. It's going to be free. What else are we getting? We get our expert sessions free. We have other benefits. All these coaches who have worked and diluted their experiences and written them down, Ashish's book, which is normally priced at $499, is going to be coming to you for free for joining this program. Mr. Ramakrishnan, who has written this book, Global to Local, he is also priced it at $499 on Amazon. When you sign up for this program, which is already just $39,900, you're going to get this for free. Devesh was talking about his book, which is Build Your Sales Muscle. It's going to be free. So all these, and we're going to also send you the Leadership Handbook free. You're going to get access to the like-minded community, both on Facebook and WhatsApp, and lifetime access to all the video recordings. So in total, if you can look at it, you're spending 80,000, 20,000 in all these books. It comes to close to 1,02,000. All these bonuses are already included. Normal price is 49,000, and the early bird price is coming to 39,999. I'm also inviting you to the webinar where we'll be sharing more details about this transformation program, which is going to be Is Your Personality Impacting Your Success? Join me on the Saturday at 11 a.m. IST, and let me share more about it. With that, I want to thank everyone watching us virtually, as well as those who are here in the room. From the Leadership Card team, which is based on knowledge, accomplish, reflect, and develop. We are into leadership training, leadership coaching, mentoring, and for more details, reach us at support.leadership.com. With that, I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us once again on Thursday. See you back on next Thursday night, 7:45, same time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, all of you.